Alright guys, so I have some breaking news for you. So Doug from this season of Love After Lockup, he's the one that's dating Rachel. He's got Dougie Jr. He has been found. He has been arrested. And he's now facing new felony charges. He even made it on his local news. We're going to dig all into that. Let me give y'all a quick backstory. So Rachel filed for divorce in December. She did not follow through with it, but she ended up filing for divorce the second time in June. Doug's had a new girlfriend since May, and Doug took his ankle monitor off back in March, so he's been absconding from parole and had a warrant out for his arrest since March. So this is the press release regarding Doug's arrest. It says, Kalamazoo, Michigan, on August 11th, investigators with the Kalamazoo Valley Enforcement Team executed 3 search warrants at the addresses with the assistance of the Kalamazoo Crime Reduction Team, Kalamazoo SWAT Team, and the Van Buren County Narcotics Unit. These warrants were in reference to methamphetamine distribution, illegal firearms, and stolen vehicle investigation. KVET investigators were able to identify the suspects and learn that they were distributing methamphetamine to subjects within the Kalamazoo area, as well as possessing illegal firearms, stealing vehicles, and selling stolen vehicle parts. The primary suspect was also a wanted parole absconder from Michigan Department of Corrections. Talking about Doug, it doesn't say his exact name here, but I did call the jail, and I have talked to a close family member, and they have confirmed this is Doug and his arrest. It says, while executing these search warrants and the arrest of the primary suspect of this investigation, the individual, aka Doug, attempted to flee from the investigators on a motorcycle and crashed into a police vehicle. The suspect then resisted officers while reaching for a loaded firearm in his possession. Investigators were able to take him into custody without serious injury to the suspect or officers. During a search of the homes or properties and involved subjects, investigators located crystal methamphetamine, controlled substance, pills packaged for illegal sale, drug distribution, packaging materials, 6 semi-auto pistols, an AR-style rifle, numerous magazines and ammo, multiple stolen vehicles and dismantled vehicle parts, and approximately $4,000 of suspected drug proceeds. Charges will be submitted on 7 suspects contacted during the search warrants for charges such as possession with intent to deliver methamphetamine, possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, felon in possession of firearm, felony firearm, possession of stolen firearms, felon in possession of ammunition, possession of stolen vehicles, fleeing and eluding and resisting and obstructing police. The 7 suspects were identified as Kalamazoo and Paw Paw area residents, ranging from 20 years old to 62 years old. The Kalamazoo area has experienced an increase in vehicle thefts, methamphetamine use / trafficking in firearms this summer. KVET would like to thank the citizens who submitted tips and gave information related to this incident. And then they're asking for anybody with any tips to call this number. So it looks like Doug went back to his old ways, and he's looking at some really serious charges. So let's go ahead and listen to his local news reporting this whole incident. I can't show you because they show pictures of the firearms, and YouTube will demonetize this video if I show them.
Including a suspect who authorities say crashed a police cruiser while trying to avoid arrest, are expected to face charges now after drug busts in Kalamazoo County near Paw Paw. This is a photo of the guns and the drugs that were seized after the raid by the Kalamazoo Valley Enforcement Team. The raids happened at 3 properties. 2 of them were in Kalamazoo, 1 on East Vine Street and another on Hazel Avenue. The 3rd raid happened on County Road in Paw Paw. Among other items, authorities say they seized crystal meth, several guns, multiple stolen vehicles, vehicle parts, and about $4,000 in cash. If you know anything about drug or firearm trafficking, you're being asked to call Silent Observer.
So I'm unaware if they're trying to charge Doug with any of the drugs they found in the houses. I don't believe they found drugs specifically on Doug, but I do know he's being charged with fleeing from the police, resisting arrest, and crashing his motorcycle into a police vehicle, and also for being a felon in possession of a firearm, and not only a firearm but a loaded firearm, and not only that, he pulled it out while the police were trying to arrest him. And you know, he's lucky that situation didn't end up worse than it was. I'm curious if the girl he was seeing is gonna stick around with him, because he's not going to be getting out anytime soon. He's looking at some years, and plus, you know, he keeps getting in trouble. They might consider him a menace to society and be like, hey, you don't need to be a free man. Obviously, you keep taking your freedom for granted. But according to Facebook, Doug and his current girlfriend are still in a relationship, but she just put on her IG yesterday, be careful who you love, and had like little heartbroken emoji. So I'm not really exactly sure what happened between Rachel and Doug to cause them to break up. You know, we saw in last night's episode, he ended up buying her like a $5,000 ring and proposed to her again, even though they're married. So it looked like things were going good for them. But I'm guessing Doug was either cheating on her or starting to go back to his old ways, and Rachel's like, you know what, I can't do this. And you know, Rachel, you dodged a bullet there, especially with Rachel having a kid. If Doug went back to this type of behavior and started having firearms and all kinds of other shenanigans inside her house when she has an 11-year-old son herself, that's not cool. And the real victim in all this is Dougie Jr., because he hasn't had his dad majority of his life. He gets all excited that he can finally have a relationship with his dad. His dad gets out, and I'm not sure how long he's been out this time, but he didn't even make it a year, I know, before he's going right back to jail. And it's not just jail for a little bit. He's going to be going to prison for a long while. So I really feel for Dougie Jr. Hopefully he's in a good, loving home. And let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And are you surprised that Doug is going back to prison? I'm not surprised. I knew he cut off his ankle monitor, and I knew once I heard that he was automatically back to his old ways. Because you just don't cut off your ankle monitor if you're doing good and not trying to hide anything. It sounds like after him and Rachel broke up, he went back to what he knows and his old playground and old playmates, and now look where it ended up getting him. But that's it for this video. I'm going to continue following this story closely, and I promise as soon as I get the scoop, I'll keep you guys in the loop. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on all bell notifications so you don't miss it when I drop another video.